Welcome to the Protein Bros podcast. On today's podcast, we have a very special guest. Her name is Shayna Lareina, and she is a social media influencer here in Kansas City. On today's podcast, we talk about, what it's like dealing with social media and being an influencer. And we talk about her sponsorship with First Form. She just got back from going to Summer Smash, as did we. So we talk about those things. And she is also a patriot. She is somebody who is very interested and involved in the Second Amendment and talking about, conservative values and mixing those two things, mixing fitness and conservative values together. She was a great, great guest. And as always, please like, comment, and share. And let's get you guys to the episode. The truth is none of us are special. So
that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
That's my point.
That's what I'm saying. It's like when I get around somebody that's like that, I'm like, you're not special. I'm not special. We're just on this fucking rock. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know. It's just.
Yeah. So you want to ask, what's humility mean to you?
Yeah.
How does that, have you ever given thought to that?
I heard a guy talk about having a quiet mind the other day, and it really resonated with me, because he was like, the more quiet my mind is, and the more the less I'm thinking about myself, the happier I am. Right. So he was just basically saying that the more that I'm pouring into other people, the more that I'm not really sitting and thinking about myself in this situation. How do I feel? Blah, 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 blah. He's like, the more quiet my mind is, the more happy I am. And he's like, as I've gotten older, it's been easier and easier to do that. And I think that that's it is true. As I've gotten older, it's been easier. And also I think having kids helps me with that too.
You mentioned
it's like I go home and it's like I can't think about myself because I'm just worried about these little hellions that are Sully's trying to drive my truck. And I'm like, you can't, buddy, you're 2. You can't drive my truck yet. And he'll try. I can't reach the pedals.
Freedom. Your freedom of your mind comes from, pouring into all the things that you feel like, align with the life that you want to build for yourself. But the more you do things for yourself, the less people are going to be concerning themselves with helping you, because you only have a selfish mindset. So it's like, the more you pour into others, the bigger I would say the bigger cup you can pour from, if that makes sense. Yeah. I don't know if I'm explaining that really well, but. What
about you? What do you think about this? Have you ever gone through issues with social media as far as making it, being bad for mental health?
I'm currently there.
Yeah.
For the past month. Yeah, it's a little bit closer. I don't know. You just get on and everything seems perfect, and this is not reality.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's hard not to play the comparison game sometimes. And so you'll get into that, and then just keeping up with people, and they expect, responses or whatever, and you can't give everybody all the attention all the time. So then that weighs on me, because if they took the time to send me a message, I really appreciate that, and I want to get back to everybody, but it's
for sure
strung out. And then, it's just,
there is something beautiful about the generation before us that you can only get a hold of people with a home phone. Can you imagine?
Bro. Yeah. Talking to everybody's parents.
Bro, you couldn't. It was I'm out riding my bike. Ain't nobody getting a hold of me.
Right.
I'm just out living life.
Yeah. I'm just out living life.
Well, we talk about this generation.
Freewheeling life,
Younger generations having a hard time with communication. Talking to strangers, making a phone call to a stranger. I had an employee once who, this is 10 years ago, and he said that his little sister couldn't order pizza. And I was like, you're kidding me. He's like, no, dude, I have to order pizza for her. She can't call, and she get too nervous talking to a stranger. And I'm like, they work at the pizza place. Their job is to answer the phone and sell you that pizza. I don't understand. They're wanting you to call. And they're like, no, man, I couldn't believe it. So, and then I think about when we were, I was 7 years old, I'd call a neighbor's house and just be like, is Blake home? Yeah, is Blake there? Mm-hmm. And I'm talking to a random person that I've never talked to, maybe it's their sister, their mom, their dad, whatever, but it's that's just customary.
Mm-hmm.
So strange.
But now, like you were saying, I'm the worst. If you send me a message on Instagram, dude, it's an abyss. I don't even, it's so bad. I'm not good at it.
I think if you have an expectation at this day and age of someone getting back to you, if you are,
instant.
If you are somebody who is expecting a response on Instagram, it's well, then that wasn't your real friend. Because it's if that's your real friend, you text him if you really needed a response. that make sense?
For sure.
It's like, if you can you really have a full expectation that someone's going to get back to you on Instagram? Like, can you really have that expectation? And if you do, not very mature.
Yeah. I know people get upset about it though.
I'm sure, but is that a projection of their own feelings about themselves, and you were trying to validate, and they wanted you to validate them? Is that possible? Or is it they really feel connected to you and they felt entitled to a response?
I don't know, maybe just that connection. And I think everybody nowadays is like, I am deserving of this and it needs to be right now. And
of the people that you're not responding to, Shay, are any of them actual close personal friends that you just like, dang, I'm sorry I slipped up? Or is it a majority strangers?
Sometimes it's my friends, but I'm like, if you're sending me messages and then reels and then photos and then look at this, I can't do all of that.
Okay.
You know, and sometimes my messages are so full and there's a primary and then like a secondary inbox and then message requests and then hidden requests. It's a lot.
How many DPs are you getting? And the other requests.
I hadn't heard the name DP.
I just made it up because I didn't want to say it out loud.
Yeah.
You know, if it says image is hidden, I just delete.
Yeah.
Well stated. Yeah.
Don't think about it. So what? So you know, obviously you have a very large following. You've done very well as far as in the fitness industry and building a following of people that are interested in what you're doing. You know, so you kind of covered what the negatives were about social media. What are your favorite things about social media?
I love that you're able to connect with people that you wouldn't have been able to before.
Yeah.
Like going to the gym and then someone saying, hey, like I followed you for a while and making that connection in real life. It's cool. And just people that are not in your immediate social circle or in your city.
Was that growth on your Instagram? Is Instagram where you're primarily at? Do you have other socials that you would try to grow as well?
I'm just on Instagram really because I don't know how TikTok works. I don't like Facebook.
And then were you intentional about the growth of that? Or what, you know, was there a certain post or a certain reel that you made that just like put you over the top? You're like, oh, whoa, you know, I didn't see this coming. Was that intentional?
It was not intentional. I got on 2 or 3 years ago and thought I'm just going to share what I'm doing. And that's how it happened. It was one post in August or September of 21.
Okay. Can you find this, Luke? Was it a heavy lift?
It was a picture.
Okay.
And it just got reposted so many times.
Was it like a, I guess we'll find out. Was it this like Marlboro cigarette looking one? I'm just joking.
Oh gosh. See, and I don't want to post things like this anymore. I'm trying to get away from this.
No, I mean like,
it's like
and
vanity. It's right there with the gray shorts. It was that one. Oh, nope.
These ones? Mm-hmm. This one right here?
Yeah, it went to like over 3 million accounts or something.
Wild, dude.
And I had, at that time, less than 10,000 followers.
Can you, was it you speak Spanish pretty fluently, don't you?
It was one of my majors at university. Yeah.
So with that being said, like, does that help you as far as with your crossover in the sense of the amount of followers that you have?
I think so, yeah.
Do you have a Hispanic background too, and like your ethnicity?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I just love language. I wish I spoke more. And I decided to start taking 7th grade Spanish. Started taking it and I continued through university. And
so it's been like a way for you to connect with more people, obviously. But through the growth of your platform, like as far as what you've been posting, what have you been trying to be intentional about lately? Because you said you're trying to get away from, I guess, what would you call those kind of posts, vanity posts or,
Yes.
Because I would say, yeah, it's funny because we just went back and I'm like, yeah, I haven't seen you post anything like that in quite some time.
Yeah.
What's making you want to get away from that?
I want especially women come to my page, I want them to be comfortable and know that it's doable. And I don't know, when you just go to a page and it's all lingerie pics and naked women or almost.
Sure.
Sometimes it's uncomfortable and you get put off from that, but I want them to see the training side and that side of me. And
so much more to you than that.
Yeah.
You had in the most recent, I feel like you've been posting a lot of you hitting heavy lifts, or can we post, let's see the video of you doing, was it like a sissy squat unassisted?
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it was, a sissy squat? This is like unbelievable.
Oh.
Well, no, it's going to keep going. So, Kyle, if you haven't seen this, wait till you see the unassisted.
And I don't know why I decided to try that at the very end of my training session. Not smart, but I'm like, I'm
This
just going to go
is
for
crazy. Kyle, you got one of these in your pocket?
My knees would explode.
Bro, watch this.
it. My quads were so tight. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to touch. And so,
That's amazing.
Dude,
thank you.
wild.
Yeah.
And so, like,
Have you ever done
but it's-
sissy squats, Jeff? They blow your legs up.
Yeah, dude, I got quads for days. I know.
I didn't know.
I don't know why you didn't know.
You are Quadzilla.
That's people call me that.
Yeah.
When you do these lifting videos, have you been getting the same kind of feedback that you're like, are you getting the engagement that you want to get from your following?
Yes and no. I'm not consistent with my posting, and I need to be. But I'm trying to rework instead of just, here's my body, here's my butt, which is fine, but I want it to be more helpful and informative and getting away from what I used to post.
Well, I feel like you've been doing a great job with that, though.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, show this dog video. Show us what the hell this is about. Explain that, Graham.
Oh, yeah. So I've done this before.
Oh, my gosh.
The first time I did this was actually down at First Form.
Where a dog just attacked you with, but it was a trained dog, if you will.
Yes. Malinois.
What's the kind of dog is it?
Belgian Malinois.
Never even heard of it.
Vicious, dude.
Dude, I mean, it looks like a dog you don't want to mess with.
Yeah.
Hey, Protein Bros podcast guest Jeremy Potvin with a comment. He's not jealous of your legs at all. But I mean, so these dogs are here for doing what? You don't usually see attack dogs at the gym.
Yeah, so she is Greg's dog, who is at Fieldcraft.
Okay.
And she follows him everywhere. And I've had experience down at First Form with a Malinois. And I'm like, does she do bite training? Do you do that? And he's like, yeah, every day. Because if not, they'll just tear apart your house.
Okay.
They want to do that. And so he was like, do you want to try it? And I'm like, of course.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, let's go. So
They're like the dogs that they combat. They're
Okay.
combat dogs. They'll send them into, like, if they're clearing a room, they'll send them into a room and, they're vicious. Also, I'm pretty sure those are the type of dogs that you can't get them to stop biting. Like, they will literally continuously bite until they have, like, a word that they hear that, like, makes them stop. But they'll literally kill you.
they're so aggressive when they need to be and athletic.
Yeah.
Their jumping is insane, but they're so sweet.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What was the name of that one? You remember?
Lily.
Lily?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she was just, man.
What's
Missing a dog.
What's your thoughts on basically the algorithm changes that Instagram has had, where it's like now preferencing more reels, and I feel like now more than ever there's more useless shit that comes across my feed than ever before, where I'm just like, and I think it all is to promote doom scrolling,
Just to keep you on the app.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Keep
it
your
just
eyeballs
is
on
like
it.
the same stupid shit, like over and over and over again. Different people doing different, like, little skits about things.
I know. And there's so much good information, but then you're seeing the girl that's like dancing in a bikini.
Yeah.
And that's what comes across your feed.
Correct.
I don't even know. It seems like they're changing it all the time. Like the stories have a different algorithm than the feed, different than the reels. So I don't really know what's going on, but I hate that I get on my feed. I'm scrolling through, and I timed it the other day. I went like 5 minutes of just straight scrolling, and I didn't see anybody that I followed.
Yeah.
Like, where are all my friends?
I've been noticing, and maybe because I'm somebody who I enjoy ads because I just like the business side of it, and I get sent. I mean, like when I'm scrolling through stories, I'll get an ad every 3 stories, and sometimes I'll get 2 in a row. It's like 2 out of every 5 things I look at is an ad at this point on Instagram, and it's just crazy to me the amount of they're like seeing what they can get away with as far as how many ads they can feed people.
Wait till they
getting out of hand.
integrate OpenAI. Then it's going to be insane. They are going to pinpoint. They're going to be able to pinpoint exactly what type of ad to serve you at exactly what time.
Right.
I mean, it'll be insane.
I can only we literally can't imagine what it's going to be like because it's going to be that over the top. Like what we it's like we're in the middle.
I might burn my phone at that point.
Yeah.
It seems like I watched a long lecture on we're in another industrial revolution where it's just like the last one was automobiles, right? And it was just like the factories, the invention of a factory, right? Henry Ford invented a factory, and having factory workers and being able to spit out things quickly. and it changed like the modern world, right? And so like the internet's one part of it, but now AI, it's like life as we know it will just be completely different probably 5-10 years from now.
Are you going to have a robot is the real question.
Heck no. No, sir.
Do you have an Amazon Alexa at your house?
Nope. I don't have Siri
A
on
Google
my phone.
Assistant?
Nope. Mm-mm.
I love it. Where did you get your conservative values from? Like where are they derived from for you?
Probably my parents.
Sure.
And I went through a phase during college where I was like, kind of veered away from those. But then just seeing where the world is now, I'm like even further towards those values. Because
Totally.
just like I really appreciate the way I grew up. I'm
Completely.
so thankful for it.
Yeah, it's amazing how we can be. I think it's just human nature as you're a young person. When you're, 16 to 24, you start to rebel a little bit and have some kind of just to see what else is out there, and it only makes you appreciate how you were raised more, or the opposite maybe. Just depends on how you were raised. But are you in a position now where, with those, those values that you grew up with, it seems like you were getting more and more opportunities to help with that in the sense of being a voice for those values. Word on the street is you're potentially going to DC to speak on something. What's that about?
Yeah, hopefully we're going to be doing that soon. Talking about social media censorship and how one side is heavily censored, but the other side, you can do whatever. So we're going to go talk about that. And how it's a real thing.
Can we speak about we and who we is and the group of people that are, banding together to help out with this?
We don't really have a name,
No
I
way.
guess. It's just a whole bunch of patriots, conservative voices in the social media world and banding together.
Any names we can talk about potentially?
Well, I think Andy, he'd
Okay.
be going with us, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as people that are coming along, potentially, we're not going to say anything. None of
Are you
this is
sure Andy's
solidified.
not planning to take over DC?
I hope he does.
Andrew,
I hope he does.
Andrew J. Frisillo could be going. Anybody else you can think of? If they're, as far as like, one side being posted quite a bit and one being censored quite a bit, are we calling for, regulation change of any sort? Like if it went your way, how would it go?
On
Capitol Hill when you're there, like what are we trying to get out of it?
We are trying to show the men and women in Capitol Hill that this actually exists, it is happening, and that voices are being shut down and not able to exercise their
First Amendment rights.
right to free speech. And the accounts are getting shut down, like
Yeah.
English just did.
And it's right. And
Yeah.
you know what's wild? I've been like, what I notice is, and this is something me and Hannah, my fiance, we decided to test because someone posted like a classic kind of like a husband-wife argument on their social media, right? And it was like, hey, my husband sees it this way, I see it this way type of thing that happened, right? Like he played a prank on her or something, right? And it's all supposed to be tongue-in-cheek and funny. And then the comments for me were like siding with the dude, and it would like ignite me emotionally to be like, yeah, and then her top comments were completely different from my top comments. And her top comments were all like 100% like sticking up for the female in this video, and it being like, this is BS. And like, it's all just to ignite emotion and make you feel, completely triggered more or less.
It's all it's doing is trying to keep you on the app longer. So conflict, they've found that like conflict is the number one thing that keeps you looking at something. And it's why everyone scrolls comments all the time.
It's like news, right? If it bleeds, it leads.
Correct. So it's like, these guys have the absolute smartest people in the world building these algorithms. And so they just are great at getting people hooked on, like for me, I don't really consume a lot of social media that is like traditional social media anymore, but like dumb stuff. Like I'm talking like
Shane Gillis videos.
Yeah. It knows exactly what I'll watch a lot of, and it will just feed me that over and over again. And like I said, I'm not on social media all that much, but sometimes I'll be like, dude, I've been looking at this for 20 minutes.
What
the hell?
I know.
When Clara gets her first social media account, Kyle, your oldest daughter,
Not till she's out of my house.
that's when I love that. But it'd be funny to be like, sit her on your knee and be like, you know what? There was a time, Clara, when the internet was just cat videos and it was amazing.
By that time, though, social media moves so fast. Even my youngest sister, who's 19, she's like, "Ew, you're on Instagram. Ooh, you post a lot on Instagram." Like, they don't think Instagram's cool.
But isn't she also on Snapchat? She's like, cute.
That's all they do is Snapchat.
But Snapchat came out the same time, 2012.
I don't know what it is. Her social media also has like 2 pictures on it. They delete all their stuff, which I don't know what is up with that, but they have like 2 pictures on there.
They like archive everything?
I have no clue. I don't know.
That is
I've seen people do that. I'm like, why do you only have 4 posts?
Yeah.
Where the rest of them go? I mean, I don't have a ton, but yeah, they like delete them.
So I think social media just changes, and it's like, you know, whatever the generation above you is doing, it doesn't even have to be like a full generation. It could be just people that are 5 years older than you. Whatever they're doing, it's not cool anymore. It's the same thing with like clothes have always been, and you know, it's just younger people want to be different, you know, contrarians.
Understandable.
So
you got to have a counterculture.
Yeah.
Right. Are you with your?
But the censorship stuff, it's like you know, in my head, the only way you fix that really is by getting rid of the bureaucracy, which it's like, is that ever going to even happen? Because it wasn't, you know, the Twitter files showed that, you know, the FBI and the CIA was like talking to these social media companies and telling them like, hey, take a look at this, which is Orwellian. Like, you're just like, I can't believe that is actually happening in America, you know?
Oh, I know.
And I'm sure it's still happening. I have no clue because I'm not really that plugged into it, but I would guess that, you know, it's probably still happening.
To your point earlier about like the not having an Amazon Alexa in your house or whatever. I think this TV is one. Alexa. Yep. So they're listening to our podcast.
They always are. And if they want to find something out, they're going to find it out.
Yeah. In 2 years, AI is going to be able to do this podcast for us.
Yeah. And
we have enough of our voices recorded.
Yeah. It'll be our voices. But Alexa, sorry, not talking to you. But whenever I was talking to an FBI agent recently,
Nice. Talking to a fan.
all true.
Listen.
Went out to dinner with some FBI agents investigating me. No. We had a conversation and they were like, yeah, for sure, everything's listening to you. Like, oh, well, for sure. Like,
I mean, have you ever been talking about something and the ad comes up on your phone later?
Of course.
Yeah.
And it's like, at this point, it's just like, we're just conditioned to accept it. It's like, I could talk about the most, you know, erroneous thing and it'll be on somebody else's phone the next day, you know, and they see it and you're like, man, I've never been ever shown a video or an ad for that. Mention it one time and there it is. Pretty impressive.
My cousin works for the FBI and he does purchasing, and they just built, because he does purchasing and he does GC work for him. They just built a new building down in Alabama, and we drove by it and I said, well, what do they do in that building? He said, every single piece of any kind of like microwave, toaster oven, grill, anything that connects to the internet, they buy it and they try and hack it. And he said, because basically if it connects to the internet, like a terrorist can get into it, hack it, like turn your microwave on for like 20 hours while you're not there and burn your house down. Because if it connects to the internet, they have the ability to basically, you know,
tap into
it and do whatever they want with it, which everything is Bluetooth or connects to the internet. It's all, you know, it's crazy how connected, you know, things are now.
Shay, you doomsday prepper? You got some doomsday stuff?
I sure am.
Tell me about it.
Tell me about how much canned food do you have?
Let's talk through it. How many rounds of ammo do you have?
I've been stacking it up. Ammo cans, nice and full. Yeah, lots of canned food, water, life straw, flashlights, backpack, first aid kit.
How long?
She's got the bug out stuff. You said
I'm ready to go.
You hang out with guys from Fieldcraft Survival.
I was just there.
Were you? That's cool.
Yeah.
Mike Glover is like one of my favorite guys to listen to.
Yeah, I know that company's.
He's the man.
What they're doing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have their. I have 2 of their tourniquets. One is in my side by side, and then the other one's in my truck.
Oh,
just in
nice.
case,
yeah.
you know, because he always talks about tourniquets. He's like, you guys, everyone wants to talk about their everyday carry, but it's like you're more likely to get into a situation where you need a tourniquet than you need a gun.
Right. I know.
And
smart.
So yeah.
Are you so with these brand partnerships, you know, being a patriot like you are, you're getting, you know, I'm assuming you're I shouldn't assume, but you've told me off the mic that like, yeah, you absolutely are getting opportunities with more and more companies that align with American values.
Which I love.
Which is
I
cool.
never thought it was going to be like that, you know?
Yeah.
You get ostracized at the beginning, and then you start meeting your people that have the same values, and it's like, okay, this is awesome.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Fun to be around some like-minded people.
Yes.
And with those experiences, you know, you just got to recently go to Utah.
Yes.
Can you explain to us what that is for those of us that have never been to such an event?
It was the biggest live fire expo in Utah. So lots of companies, brands, people.
And what's a live
guns.
fire event, just for those that aren't familiar?
Lots of different guns.
And you get to shoot all of them.
Yeah.
Was there like 50 cals going on? Rocket launchers or something
guns, yeah, all like the firearm companies.
Did you say a rocket launcher?
Hell yeah.
Grenade
launcher?
I didn't see a
Grenade launcher attachments?
Didn't see that, but
I'm going.
More likely to see some tannerite blow up, though.
Yeah, was there some fun explosions?
I would imagine so. I couldn't be, all the places at once, but I heard some big booms. So
I'm with you.
yeah.
What was your favorite gun you got to shoot?
The very first day, not at the expo, but we went to a shooting range, and there was an outdoor blacklight skeet shooting range.
Wow.
So cool.
So kind of like a cosmic bowling.
Oh, yeah.
Shooting?
I actually have seen ads for that. That looks very cool.
It was super cool.
Yeah.
How fun.
And my shotgun shooting is not the best, but I got the hang of it.
Have you ever done sporting clays?
No.
So Kyle, I just found this out. I haven't yet to tell you this. Super exciting. There are sporting clays here in Kansas City. Have you done sporting clays?
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't you think there is?
What do you mean, dude? We've never done it. We would love to. Have you ever done sporting clays?
Yeah. Are you talking about like where they do the rabbit and, all that?
No. It's not just like shooting clays. Sporting clays is like golf. You've never done sporting clays?
You're talking about...
This is like what we did.
Yeah, this is amazing. But no, sporting clays would be like golf. It's like you're going to different destinations. Like imagine, Kyle, we're like walking through the woods, right? Or like on a trail.
Sporting clays are basically just where they're throwing out different types of animals at you. So like they'll do a pheasant, which is flying away. They'll do a rabbit, which is on the ground.
Which you can do at any court, like any driving range, or any shooting range.
Correct. But you're saying this is a different way of doing it?
Totally. So when you're walking, so imagine like all of us as a group, right? The three of us, Shay, Kyle, me, we all three go and we bring one shotgun, right? And we come to station one, and station one's there, and there's going to be trap and skeet shooting, and you decide, which release you want to pick, right? And you get two chances. And so you stand there with your shotgun, and then I say pull, you hit the button, and if I get it, we write it down. If I miss, I miss, and that's my score. On to hole 2, on to hole 3. There's usually like 12 to 18 stations along the way through this wooded route that you take. And so you do it with a group of friends, and everybody writes down their score. In the end, the best shooter wins.
That's kind of cool.
Something we should do with the managers.
That'd be good.
For sure. So like this is cool. So is this, Powder Creek. So this is in Lenexa. And you get to go all through it, right? And it's, dude, how dope, right? We did this in Branson once, and it was just it's a badass time if you've never done it, but it feels like it's just like golf. You go to a different post per, and then every single time everybody shoots the same exact, kind of setup, and whoever does best at the end wins. So I can finally show you that I'm a better shotgun shooter than you do.
Jeff.
Kyle's the hunter here, but I'm telling you, dude, I'm better than you think.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're bad, but I'm just saying you're better than
Kyle, we'll see. Let's just say
who used to make me the most mad, the most annoyed when they would say that is Mike Taylor. You know Mike Taylor? Have you met him at First Form?
King of the warehouse right now.
King of the warehouse. But he used to always talk that shit, and it used to piss me off.
But now you just know you're better, right?
Yeah.
That's true. So Shay, talk about some more partnerships. What other cool stuff have you had the opportunity to do?
So Utah, most recent Summer Smash.
Yeah.
My first Summer Smash. That was...
What was your
you've been
impression?
been First Form for about a year now. What's the experience been with them?
Since last August.
Yeah.
It has been the best experience ever, and the best people. Like, I could not say enough great things about them.
That's exciting.
Exciting,
we know those guys really well.
Yeah.
They're really cool. But tell us,
Just a little bit.
You've just worked with some other brands, you've worked with other people, and that's cool. And I think you've learned, from every one of them. But what is it? What's stuck out to you with First Form?
I mean, everything. I mean, from the phone calls, meetings, to walking into headquarters, to all the people that work there. I've never met a better group of people, just all over. I'm like, how's everybody so nice and kind and welcoming and want you to be comfortable, successful? They want to help you. I mean, it's just.
What is your experience? We've talked a handful of times where you've come into brand partnerships or situations where you go into it excited and you leave feeling with just, it's not like a negative, totally negative feeling, but you just leave like,
It wasn't the right fit for me.
Yeah. That level of professionalism that I feel like you're talking about with First Form, has that been consistent with the other brands you've worked with in the past in some capacity? Or is it been like, that's what's sticking out to them, is that professionalism?
The professionalism and standards are just like second to none. They're always pushing higher and higher. And
Where, if you had, in a perfect world, how would that partnership evolve with First Form?
I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but I hope that I'm able to be more involved with them as time goes on and, do more events and meet more people, just because it is, I mean, you can't even describe the people I get. I mean, it's just, they're so amazing. I don't know. Everybody like-minded, wants to get better, high standards, work ethic.
I really think that like boils down to, when you think about brands, First Form is one of the only ones that is so out front with their core values.
Yes.
And like unapologetic about who they are. And so it's like, they're not for everybody, obviously. No. And so it's like, but the people that they are for, it's like you're attracting the people that, yeah. Which is good, because it's like,
if you're for everybody, then you're for nobody.
Correct. What was your favorite part of Summer Smash?
Oh, probably just the people that I got to meet.
Yeah.
Just being around like-minded people, and then Andy's speech that he gave, I was like, yes.
Was there anybody that you were nervous to meet?
I would say I was just nervous in general to be there, because I'm very quiet and to myself, and that was overwhelming, I guess, at times, because there were so many people there. But I even told Andy on Sunday, I'm like, that was way out of my comfort zone. I never do anything like that. But getting to meet people and talk to them and hang out and take pictures.
Are you starting
to feel
more,
though?
Yeah, are you starting to feel more comfortable in those moments then?
Slowly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you, was there any of the musical acts that you liked the most?
Steve Aoki was awesome.
Was that one of your first DJ shows? Have you been to, more than one?
I went to Ultra down in Florida. So it was like a big festival thing of
DJs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How was that? I've never been to something like that.
That was my first time. It was kind of crazy. Lots of people and music and all day, all night. So.
Were you able to like stick around for the whole thing?
I did day 1, skipped day 2, and did day 3. And on day 1, the island caught on fire.
It was on an island?
It was on an island.
Is this in South Florida or something?
It's off of Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was on this island. And yeah, we didn't get back to the room until like 5 a.m. because all the buses couldn't get to the island because it caught on fire, one of the stage fireworks.
Jeez. Well, I'm glad you did that, unless it was
Did you get caked by Steve Aoki?
I got some on my camera and my shoes, but I wasn't right in the front. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Was it your phone camera, or did you like have a separate camera?
My actual camera. Yeah, I was holding that the whole time.
That's funny.
My 6-year-old loved Vanilla Ice. She said, "Dad, that was cool," because he had that Ninja Turtle on stage, and she was like, "Yeah, I can get down with that."
What do you think about the robots?
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So Steve Aoki's played there before, and the first time that he played there, they had those robots, and we watched one of our employees get caked right there in the front, and it was pretty awesome.
And it was like point blank, straight to the face. It
was right to the face.
It was just like as if he, like, imagine just winding up as hard as you possibly can, throwing a cake, and the person being like 6 feet from you. It was unbelievable.
But people were like asking for that.
Absolutely. He was. Right. He was like, baptize me right here with frosting.
We were very deep into the Una Vida tequila by that point. It was a good time.
For all of our listeners, Summer Smash is an amazing event. We had Aaron Summers on recently talking about, and I think he did such a great job with, and obviously all of the people that put together that event did such a great job. Like, I said this on the podcast before, but it's like, it's incredible the level of execution that they do. As somebody who has put on events and not nearly to this level, It's so inspiring to see the level of execution from the parking lot attendants that are just there to like navigate where to park. They're the most excited, most happy to be there, happy to help parking attendants you've ever seen. And then you have people with, cleaner and towels wiping out all of the porta potties after every use, just making sure that everything looks perfect.
The nicest porta potties I've ever used in my life.
The level of care is
Spotless.
just is second to none. I've been to 3 Super Bowls, and that's the biggest event you can possibly attend, in my opinion, as far as the level of flair they put into it. I found when I went to the Super Bowl, there was like an employee working to help you and make you feel welcome for like every 6 people there. Oh. It was unbelievable, the amount of temporary help that they hire for just that one event. And I would say that Summer Smash absolutely rivals it and like exceeds it in some areas. It's something that like I think everybody needs to attend at least once. Try to, because I know it's
especially if you live in the
tickets.
Midwest. It's like gotta go.
Yeah, and just being around all the people that have the same values as you, and it's cool.
Yeah,
and those values, like it's something that I want everybody here listening to know that it's truly like, hey, we believe that in reaching your personal potential and to value personal development and growth. And that doesn't always feel comfortable. And so it's just like, hey, let's help each other feel more welcome in this uncomfortable environment by saying like, hey, I'll be right there with you when you're struggling. You know what I mean? And I think that's a beautiful thing. And it's something that it takes guts to step outside of your comfort zone and say like, you know what? I think I'd like to get better at something that I'm not very good at, or I'd like to lose this habit that I don't really like about myself. And I think that it'd be more healthy if I adopted this new habit. And to have a group of people that are totally cheering for you along the way.
I know.
And until you've done it, I don't think it's really hard to appreciate it until you've had it, and it's, I'm very grateful for having a piece of that community, and trying to create that ourselves here.
Which I think you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Working on it.
Yeah, we're doing our best.
The 30 for the Kids workout, it's like we get there and it's like this every year, but as soon as you get there and as soon as you jump in on that workout, people are high-fiving you as you're running by them.
Everyone was like stoked to be training, but it was, just a really cool event. I know.
Yeah.
It's like pumping each other up. Like,
Yeah, and they did it even bigger this year. They had so much stuff there. A lot of stuff this is for my first year bringing my kid, and so much stuff for kids, which was awesome. So it's truly kind of like
I think a lot more kids are going to be there next year based on how many had such a great time this year.
Yeah,
I'd guess just based on the amount that people were walking up to us like, oh, I have to bring my kid next year.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it plays out. Are you with First Form, as far as like I said, as far as your path there? Are you wanting to, are you considered more of an athlete or more of a trainer there? Because I know you do both.
I just say sponsored.
On the contract, it doesn't say one or the other?
I don't know.
Didn't really read it.
Because it's there's so many different, there's like athletes and then there's like
coach or trainer.
Influencers, sponsored trainers. Yeah.
As far as, so this is what I'm saying. It's like you've amassed, what are you at? Like 200,000 followers? Is it more than that?
Oh, no, I think I'm below that now.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, you're almost there, Jeff. Keep working.
Yeah, pretty much there. What are we at? 199. Yeah, way below. Okay.
If you can master that sissy squat, I think you'd be there too, Jeff.
I don't think so, man. I don't think people
You
want to
get
see.
at least 100.
Okay. Well, I need to tan these quads a little bit. I can't be throwing out these Elmer's glue skin,
That's true.
Quads on, and I don't think that's not in right now. Not currently popular, I don't think.
Probably not.
Well, bottom line is you got a lot coming up in the sense of opportunity. How do you discern, what is for you and what is not for you? Because you're growing, but it doesn't seem like you're not having to make it your full time. All of your energy is not into one thing. And so you could go this route of being a fitness influencer. You go this route as being like a patriotic influencer. You could go this route of being like a pro firearms influencer. Do you have any kind of preference? How do you want to inspire?
To bring all of those together, all of my passions together, I guess. So fitness, I think, goes hand in hand with firearms, because if you're not fit, healthy, and you're able to move, well, firearm training is going to be a little bit more difficult. And then when you need to use it, can you move and actually use it, and someone's not going to use it against you? So being able to put those two together because I do think they go hand in hand, especially for women. So yes, you can be strong, you can be able, train, but then you need to be able to do that, but then also able to use the equalizer.
And the equalizer in this case is a firearm?
Yes.
Do you carry? What is your everyday carry?
I do. I Smith & Wesson M&P.
Love it.
I know, and I'm looking at Glocks currently, and then what am I thinking now?
Have you had experience carrying any other firearms?
I have not. I've only carried that one after my experience.
Can you, for those who who have never had been any kind of victim of any kind of scary situation like you have, a lot of them would probably feel like, quickly judge you based on, your love for firearms or being a patriot, et cetera. And it's like, well, maybe they haven't had an experience like you've had. So can you walk us through that just a little bit? Would it be okay to share that?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people think that, you're a gun girl. You just like guns. And okay, so if you are in that situation, what are you supposed to do?
What situation are we talking about?
Say a 250-pound man is determined to take me or, do something.
Have his way with you in some capacity.
Yeah. What am I supposed to do? I can only fight so much. But, if that man that big is determined, I can't do much. Kick and scream, okay. Then what? I get in that car, and if I get in that car, there's like a huge statistic that your family within 24 hours is never going to see you again. And so, yeah, being able to use that, I think that especially if you say you're for women and you are anti-firearms, and I do think that you are anti-women, there is only so much that women can do. I think I'm really strong. I train, I can run, all of that, but I'm never going to be as strong as a man. And if he is determined to do something to me, that is really my only option.
So truly self-defense.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
Gold. Luke, write that down again.
And, just because it's our fucking right.
Exactly. Yes. To a, yeah.
So, obviously, because I hunt and I've grown up around guns, and it's a part of my life too. I understand where people are coming from when they are, it is a scary time. It's a lot different now than, in the 90s or in the early 2000s, where it's, there's been school shootings. There's lots of things that have happened where it has made people more scared of guns, than ever before. I've talked to, people that, they've never seen a gun, and it's just, it's a lot different now than,
Yeah, my own brother doesn't have a firearm in his house at all and won't.
Yeah, that is crazy to me.
Yeah, I can understand, and I try to have empathy as far as just understanding where they're coming from for not having that, and it's something I still don't truly understand from just a self-defense standpoint. You have two
your
kids.
Safety is your
You have
responsibility.
2 kids. He doesn't take Taekwondo. He's not trying to become a Chuck Norris on the side. So it's just what are you going to do, man? And you might have a baseball bat, but what if they have a gun? And it's like, if we ban all guns, it's like, is that really going to keep anybody from having guns?
No, do criminals follow laws? That's what just blows my mind. Okay, we're going to take away guns. Okay, what about criminals? They don't follow the rules.
Right.
What do you think they're going to be like? Okay, here are mine.
Yeah, let me give you these.
Yeah, there's basically what people are doing in that situation is they are leaning towards the side of the statistical chances of that happening are very low, so I'm not going to worry about it. But and also there's tons of gun owners that have guns that never train with them, that don't have them in a spot where they're easily accessible, or they're irresponsible.
That's straight up me, by the way.
Or they're irresponsible with them, and they don't put them up, and so they're around their kids or dangerous around their kids. I shoot around my kids, and I've made my kids comfortable around guns since they're very little, because it's very important to me that they never feel they're not scared of it, or there isn't any kind of mystery behind it, because that is what leads kids to like want to search it out.
The curiosity and
correct.
Yeah.
That's exactly what my dad did with us. Like, we weren't even allowed to point Nerf guns at each other.
Yeah.
Just practicing from a young age. When you are on that trigger, you better be prepared to kill.
Correct.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, I mean, it is an interesting, problem that we have in the country as far as, you have the president saying that, nobody needs to own an assault weapon because, you could always, the U.S. government has, F-15s. And I'm like, what a wild thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, whoa. So you're saying that the government would use F-15s on us? Like, that is a crazy thing to say.
And what about all of these politicians that are like, you should turn in your guns or, whatever? What about your security? Oh, does your home have a security system? Do you have people around you all the time protecting you? Why can't regular citizens do that?
Yeah.
And I don't know how people are like, oh, yeah, we're going to go along with this. This is great. They can be protected, but we can't.
Yeah.
Can't protect your family, your children.
Yeah, the phrase always comes back to like, no one's coming to save you. And it's like, how can I become reliant on, I can't even like rely on the government to help me at the DMV. It's like, I wished I was joking. I didn't lie. I'm like dead serious. Like, it's the most frustrating thing. Like, the most incompetent run business in this country is the U.S. Postal Service, or
the government
or
just
the
hit
DMV,
a new all-time high in jobs. They have over 13 million government jobs in America. So the incompetence is only multiplying.
Well, I mean, like,
love that.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I had a previous girlfriend who worked in a government building here in Kansas City, and she would come home and be like, dude, it is like crazy. Like, it's like everybody's like in on it. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I've been working here for like a few months and I've genuinely not done anything. And I'm like, are you serious? And I know this isn't the case for everybody. Come on. Like, I know I'm not that naive. Right. But it was like unbelievable to me. She's like, yeah, like nobody is doing much of anything. And we're all just like walking around and on Zoom calls, and it's like nothing's getting done really.
No progress.
She's like, I'm not really held accountable. Like, no one's really like checking on what I'm doing. And she's like, I came from a job where she was laid off, and she was laid off previously from a different job because she was like, I don't do anything. Like, I don't know why they need me at this point. And they didn't. So they laid her off. Mm-hmm. And then she gets this new job and she's like, I'm doing even less. And then she's like, our entire floor is just like brand new and beautiful. She's like, it's the most beautiful office building. And I'm playing disc golf like a week later, after she tells me this story, and I meet this guy out on the disc golf course, and it's like noon. And he's like, yeah, I got a mouse jiggler. You can buy them off the internet. And it just keeps his mouse moving. So he looks online on his like workspace. And he was out playing golf, and he's like, "Yeah, you can just buy a mouse jiggler, keep yourself looking like you're online." And he was like, "I'm like, where do you work?" And it was the same government building.
Late stage empire.
What's that called?
I said late stage empire. It's all crashing down.
Dude,
guys just freaking.
I'm like, this is unbelievable.
Working government jobs, acting like they're doing something, but they're not. It's a little. It might be just a hint that we are very wasteful.
I try. Well, of course, yeah. I try not to be, like I certainly don't know much. I don't watch the news on purpose. I don't want to make other people's problems my problems. And so, like, I'm not educated enough to have a strong opinion, in my opinion. But when I hear that stuff, I'm just like, dear God, how can we want to spend more money on that?
Yeah, that's very true.
Anywho,
but not spend money on our own people. Let's send it overseas.
Yeah, that's another fun topic as well.
Brilliant.
This is our first political podcast.
Yeah. So. I think most people are in that same camp. It's like it's not very often that you hear people be like, I want to pay more taxes so I can send more money overseas. It's just not most people,
I don't know. It became pretty popular to make your profile picture the Ukraine flag.
And but the thing is like you go,
I'm not being a smart
go
ass.
knock on that guy's door and you're like, hey man, if we could get 20 more grand from you, we're going to send it to Ukraine. I saw you had a Ukraine flag in your bio. I'm assuming that you would like to send that 20 grand over there now.
At the bare minimum, can we just raise your taxes on your paycheck so we can do that?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Most people are going to be like, nah, come on, dude. I'm just looking for
a lot of people vote for higher taxes when we have our local elections.
Well, they're not voting for higher taxes for themselves. They're hoping they vote for a change in tax bracket to where somebody who's quote unquote rich has to pay more. But
Somebody needs to pay.
somebody's got to get out here and pay these
Tax the
taxes.
rich.
Yeah.
What was that
Tax them.
No, there was that hilarious video on YouTube of like this woman who had like 7 kids, and she's like, somebody needs to pay. How hell am I going to do this?
Oh, you're the one that had them.
Right. I mean, like, yeah. Well, accountability is not a.
I feel
thing
like
we
that
should.
with my kids. Somebody's got to pay for this. God dang.
Somebody needs to
come pay for these kids.
for this.
God dang. Swimming lessons? Dog, you seen how expensive? Never mind.
So, anywho, I want to swing this back to firearms,
Let's do it.
specifically the carry gun. If you are a female and you were getting started and you were just looking to defend yourself better, how would you advise these women on how to get started, and like where would you go, and how do you know how to shoot? You know what I mean? Not everybody was blessed with a family who taught them these values as a kid.
Yes, and I would say too, like I'm still getting training.
Sure.
Well, I feel like I'm kind of starting over with proper technique and all of that, just learning. Like I don't know anything, but if you are just getting into it, try to find a local range and take some courses, take some classes. And
Yeah, we have some wonderful ones here in Kansas City.
Yeah, which ones do you go to?
There's a
Centerfire?
Centerfire out in Olathe.
Okay.
Great spot. Me and Kyle
Bought a couple guns from them too.
Yeah,
They're awesome people.
They were great, family-owned business, and they let us. You can not rent. I believe they just allowed you to shoot a myriad of different ones.
It's the reason why we got a SIG P365 is because we shot it first, and I was gonna buy a Glock, and I shot that, and I'm like, oh, I like this better.
Yeah, we tried a handful, right? Like a Springfield XD, right? An XDS, which is like more of like the compact, right? The SIG P365, a Glock 19.
I like the Glock 19.
Totally. There was the Smith & Wesson, right? A Shield, right?
Yep.
So we tried a handful of different carry guns that are pretty popular. And the P365, we were just so more accurate. It was wildly easy to shoot. And so we got that pinky extension magazine with it too.
Okay.
But like at that kind of place,
holds 2 more rounds. It's a undulating stack that it has in it, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
And hard to find that many rounds for a carry gun that's compact. And so we I had a Kimber Ultra Carry that I didn't like, and it's because I didn't get to shoot it first. And so you can go
That's
there.
important.
They allow you to shoot a lot of different models, so you can feel what's comfortable in the hand and what feels accurate when you're shooting, and that makes you helps you make a better choice for sure.
Definitely, and I think females, you need to have it in your hand. If it's comfortable in your grip, yeah, it's important. I think to shoot first before you get one, and then shoot it.
Yeah, man.
So,
hey, is Kim been shooting at all? I know you were talking about maybe doing that. I need to do the same with Hannah, because we live downtown, and Hannah can sketch herself out driving by herself, and
it's scary.
yeah, I mean,
You
dude,
never know
she
anymore.
was legitimately scary. I mean, like there was she went to an early morning workout at like 4 or 5 a.m. and someone who had like been up all night, probably on drugs, runs up to her car, like runs up to the window and is like beating on the window, and she just had to run a red light and just like drive because she was just terrified. And Hannah's like 100 pounds, so.
Yeah.
I mean, scary times, man. And there was no guns involved, right? This is just a person running up to her window, beating on the window, screaming at her, and it's like 4:30 in the morning.
And see, women were more vulnerable, so that's why it is so important. I know at first it's scary, but the more you do it, you get the training, you get comfortable with it, and then you're able to go out in these places and feel more safe, and that you can protect yourself and other people around you.
I think it's important that you say that too. Like, I know it's scary. It's like, yeah, I mean, like this is not normal for most people. We get that, but it's also necessary, because if she had a firearm and she had been, properly trained, I don't think she's nearly as afraid.
No.
Yeah. With everyday carries, you gotta train with it often. And then
Yes.
you also have to understand the law.
That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's like, if you're not training with it often and you're not really well versed in the law, you can get yourself into a big,
Oh, you can't walk into a government building with a gun on you? I'm just joking.
you can walk anywhere you want as long as somebody doesn't know it's on you.
I know, but you said what's the law, Kyle?
Well, I'm saying there's certain situations you can be in where you're not actually in a position where you can lawfully shoot somebody. There's
Very
tons
true.
of those situations. And
There's also like open carry, which can you describe what that is for our listeners if you guys know?
I think open carry is legal now in Kansas. I mean,
I
open
thought
carry
it was in Missouri the whole time.
Missouri's constitutional carry, but I think
Is
you
it?
can openly carry there too.
Yeah. So then both
Do
states are
that,
now
but
probably
Open carry meaning like you can just like, I could be a cowboy and have like a belt holster and literally imagine like your classic like
Yeah, it's like
cowboy
outer
saloon.
waistband.
Yeah, just outer waistband. Everybody can see it clear as day.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, dude, in Springfield, Missouri, when I worked at the store, a dude walked in wearing like red basketball shorts with like those like really shallow pockets. And he had like a cowboy looking, you know, like a shield, like a, you know, a curved grip gun where like the handle was like as if you were shooting a cap gun.
I was literally about to say it was a cap gun.
but he had that just like hanging, dangling out of his shorts.
The revolver.
Yeah, a revolver pistol just in his pocket, like dangling out of his pocket. And I was like, dude, if that just falls out of your pocket, like that's not a holster, bro. Like this is like, I mean, like I'm uncomfortable. Please don't carry
that's
that
irresponsible.
around. 1000%. Like, yeah, there's always going to be the outliers that, you know, ruin it for everybody else, but it's still,
I think that's why
necessity.
You know, finding somebody, you know, a facility like Center Fire, taking their courses, you know, in those courses, a lot of times they'll give you, like, I have a card that, you know, is if you were to get into some kind of legal trouble, you know, who to call,
insurance.
and the insurance and
What's the name of that organization?
I don't know. I don't have the.
You know what I'm talking
it's
about,
in my
though?
truck.
There's like the people that you call after if you had to be in a situation where you had to shoot someone, like you call this number afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that's called.
I know, see, that's me. I get on the podcast. I'm like, I don't know anybody's names. I don't know names of things. What's going? But yeah, I know.
I'm not a firearms expert, so
And I'm
we
not-
should
yeah.
maybe at some point, you know, it'd be cool to get like Josh Baker on here, or you know, somebody who's pretty plugged into the to that world.
Josh, I don't know if he's an expert. He certainly has a collection.
He has a ton of guns.
He certainly has a collection.
So
our friend Josh owns a magazine, and there's a couple of gun shops that would, you know, buy ad space from him, and they would be like, we could pay you for those ad spaces, or we could just give you a gun. And Josh was like, I love that gun.
Yeah.
And so he was like, yeah, so I just got another one of those. And it's like a pretty impressive number at this point, I think.
Does Andy staccatos? Have you seen those?
No.
Mm-mm.
Talk us through it.
Oh, I mean, they're like the most expensive handgun that you can get.
What's it called?
Staccato.
oh, you're
Staccato.
talking Andy's?
Oh, Andy's got the Pope welding or whatever. Like
Yeah.
Pope welding. But is it, she's talking about the brand. A staccato ranch.
Have you
Pull it
seen
up,
Andy's
pull it up,
handguns
pull it up,
that
Luke.
are custom made?
No,
Boom.
I haven't
They're
seen them.
sick.
The Pope of Welding. Go to Pope of Welding Instagram too, Luke, because he's got all those ridiculous, like, he, you know, it's just like custom inlays. Everything about it's custom and beautiful. They're just beautiful looking guns. They're like works of art more so than they are firearms.
Okay.
Look at that
Okay.
thing,
Yes.
dude.
Yes.
I mean, what
I know.
unbelievable just work of
Jesse
art.
James.
That's who that's for?
Yeah, no, that's the guy who makes them.
Oh, his name's also Jesse James, not to be confused with the
He's
with
the guy who started
motorcycle
West
guy.
Coast. No,
It's the same guy?
Yeah, West Coast Choppers.
Yes. Okay.
He builds them from scratch, dude. From scratch. Crazy.
People are so amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Can you imagine welding that?
no.
Incredible. That's just such a, I mean, God, it might be the most expensive gun of all time. The JJFU Dominator 1911.
Scroll down to Andy's because he's posted Andy's multiple times.
And if you don't like guns, at least you can appreciate the engineering and all of
Yeah, the
what goes into
artistry.
making that.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Right there.
Middle guy. Yeah.
That's not Andy's, but those are basically like what Andy has from him.
Keep going. I got to see this because Andy's is pretty incredible. Scroll down more. That one on the right, the spider webs or something. That could be something like his. I mean, dude, that's wild. Anywho,
Oh, that's a Misfits gun. That was cool. Jeff's big into Misfits. He's a punk guy.
I don't know shit about Misfits. Is this like an indie rock band?
Yeah, they're indie rock.
Indie rock,
band.
right? What's the middle one that was up there, Luke? What's that guy?
That's the type of gun that it is, but that's not Andy's.
Professional bull rider on there, no big deal. Anywho, they're doing some amazing things.
So he just shared it on his actual story. I don't know.
Shay, let's talk about, just what you're excited about right now. What do you have coming up? What do you want to tell the people to look forward to when it comes to you?
I am excited about the Republican National Convention that's coming up.
You going?
Yes.
When is the Republican Convention?
It is
Republican
in
Convention.
the middle of July.
Wow.
Coming
quick,
up.
Coming up fast.
I know. It's crazy.
Where is
I
it?
can't believe it's already June.
DC?
Milwaukee.
It's in Milwaukee this year.
And it may be the first one where the candidate is not there. We'll see.
Why?
See.
Trump's going to prison, Jeff. What do you think?
I'm just saying how many times, like how many days do you think he's really going to stay in prison?
Well, the whole thing is just
He's going to stay in prison 0 days.
Yeah. I'm like, there's no way this is really happening. But then again, you never thought he'd get convicted. They got 1 million felonies.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I did.
Yeah, I could see him getting convicted, but if he went to jail, then I'd be like, holy crap, here we go.
That's pretty wild.
I think things will go down if it happens.
And then running in the same year for president is just like, man, we're just in a spot in America where you just never thought we'd be here.
Yeah.
And that's why we need people that are, I'm just going to go about my daily life and I'm just going to stay quiet because I don't want to step on anyone's toes, hurt people's feelings. No, you're the reason why we're here.
Jeff,
The
not
reason why we're
paying
in this
attention to the
situation.
news.
Yeah, I don't want that responsibility.
But we need people
Sean tried
like
to
you with
deal
a
with
big voice to encourage people. Stand up. Say something. Not just go about your daily life like, that's why we're here.
What should we say, Shay?
We need to hold the line on things that are wrong. And yeah, I'm trying to not curse.
You're allowed to curse on
You can
this.
curse all you
I know,
want.
but I'm trying not to because if I'm going to have discipline over my mind and body, that includes my mouth, and I'm trying not to,
Okay.
Well,
I can respect
I
it.
can respect it.
I'm
100%.
trying. It's my,
With that being said, so yeah, that's coming up middle of July. You've had some more opportunities. You said like in the gun community. Do you have any other exciting things that you're working towards? You going to compete at all?
I go back and forth on it. I don't know. I just don't find my worth in that. And I know it's so short-lived that being able to train and have longevity in training and in life, that's more so what I'm moving towards rather than beating myself up and dieting down and then building back up, just getting to a physique where I am strong, capable, able, and I can navigate really any environment, terrain, or whatever I'm.
Now you've trained in bodybuilding for years and years, and did you
Sort of, yeah.
I mean, the sense of at least at the bare minimum is in you've done bodybuilding style workouts and training, and then have dieted down to I would say is a absolute like show physique. Have you competed in a show?
I have not competed in a show.
But you've done some show cuts, if you will. Is
Yes,
that
well, I
accurate?
was going to.
Okay.
And then it does, you have this twisted sense of how you look. I'm like, I look terrible. But
Sure.
so lean.
Right.
So then it messes with your mind. And I'm like, I just want to feel good. I want to look decent and just be able to do whatever have my mind on doing.
So you seem to be very process driven when it comes to your training. Do you find yourself looking towards the future in your training as far as any kind of benchmarks or goals that you're trying to hit? Or is it more of just, longevity?
Bigger legs and longevity.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
Bigger ledge. She's coming for you, Quadzilla.
yeah, dude. These sissy squats are getting out of hand. Might have to do a contest on that.
Let's do it.
The
Maybe we should.
the unassisted sissy squat. That just got to be. Is that like a? If that's
Brother,
not already like
brother,
an
you
internet,
couldn't do an assisted sissy squat.
You're on drugs, dude.
Kind of hard to say.
What are you talking about?
Okay,
Absolutely.
let's see it right here.
What do you mean?
Let's see it. Let's see you do
Let's
it.
see the sissy squat. You got to do
yeah.
it. Peer pressure.
Oh, it's like my go-to move. What are you talking
Really?
about?
Well, let's see it. Is what I'm saying.
This is not this is not part of the
venue?
podcast.
Oh,
We can make this a separate clip. We can make this viral. That's fine.
Let's do it. Let's see you do this.
Do this right after. All right, we're in an hour and 7 minutes. We can call it.
Okay.
We can talk about barbecue right now. All right, I'm going to give you some rapid
Barbecue.
fire questions, Shay. I
Oh,
need some
boy.
rapid fire answers.
You know I'm bad at this. All right.
No, don't speak that into existence. You're great at this.
I'm fantastic at this. You're right.
Yeah, affirmations, right? Shout them at me. All right. What is the best 1P energy drink flavor?
Ooh, the grape smash. This is my new fave.
Number one?
Oh yeah. I love
Okay.
it.
If you had to pick a pre-workout flavor of their pre-workouts, what was the name of the pre-workout you would pick as well as the flavor? Because they have a lot of
Burst
pre-workouts.
Project One.
Go to?
Oh yeah.
All right. Favorite protein flavor, Formula One or Level One, by the way?
Formula One. I have that once or twice a day.
And what's your go-to flavor?
Oh, I really like vanilla, but root beer float.
If you had to, that's a sneaky good one.
She's good.
That's a sneaky good one.
She's good.
First Form makes a lot of apparel, right?
They're new.
Let's talk it. All right. What do you got?
The thing.
What do you got?
The new fanny packs. I wore it all weekend in Utah. Dropped it in the water. Got it dirty. Wipes right off. Water repellent. It's amazing.
Yeah, it looks brand new.
Yeah.
Would have never thought you dropped it anywhere, but
No. They're new apparel for women, especially. Love.
yeah, you were wearing the solstice dress.
Love the solstice dress.
And you were able to
bra.
like hike a mountain and then go out to dinner in it the same day.
Yeah, I wore it to an event, hiked, trained, got bit by a dog in it, and then wore it out to dinner later.
Incredible.
Versatile.
And yeah, no holes in the dress.
I know. No, it's fantastic. And it doesn't ride up, has shorts underneath, a pocket for your phone that's hidden.
Of all the other things that they make, is there anything that you wish that they would make that they haven't made yet? This is not a critique. It's just more of a hope for the future.
Oh.
If you're like, man, I really wish they'd make this or that.
I guess I haven't really thought about that, but like I love cookie dough, so anything like maybe cookie dough flavor of something.
Oh, they used to have
3
level
CD.
1 cookie dough.
Three
okay.
CD.
People
Chocolate
didn't
chip
like
cookie
it.
dough.
I loved it with milk, but
Chocolate chip cookie dough flavor level 1 was around for years.
Okay.
I don't think it made it past like 2015.
Okay. Because I didn't discover First Form until 2016 in Chesterfield. That
Wow.
was my first time.
Fun fact. A supplement superstore, it sounds
Mhm.
like.
Sure was.
Oh, pretty cool guys over there.
I know.
Tyler Fox at the time,
Was it?
Probably.
2016?
probably.
I think he was out in Wentzville, dog.
Yeah, you're right. Probably.
Anywho, level 1 bar. What flavor?
Oh.
Or I guess if you're like a vegan girl, you know.
Do I look like a vegan girl?
I thought I'd make a joke.
Heck no.
I thought I'd make
I
a
eat
joke.
steak every single day. Yeah. That's. I used to be a vegetarian though, and those were
The
some
Power
rough
Pro,
years.
there's the Power Pro bars, and then there's the level 1 bars. You got a fave?
I mean, they're all really good.
Do they digest well for you?
Oh yeah, it's the only protein that I can take that doesn't upset my stomach.
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
It is exciting.
Have you dabbled in their natural flavors?
Yeah, strawberry. You suggested strawberry to me, remember?
I do remember that.
Yeah, and I got that. Awesome. I have that at home too.
You bought that before you were even sponsored by them.
I sure did. Yes.
The vegan protein's pretty good. Vegan Power Pro, very good. Mm-hmm.
They have this frosted oatmeal cookie that's really good.
Okay.
I mean, if you're eating plants, it's the best tasting of the plants. Yeah. It's not. I mean, like.
I'll give it a try, but probably won't be my good.
I mean, like.
It's not root beer float.
None of it is as good as
that
root
your
beer
favorite?
float.
Root beer float.
I don't
So
even
good.
like mint anything. I mean, like sincerely, but the thin mint Girl Scout cookie, the chocolate mint cookie, especially if you like get water that's like fresh from the fridge, right? Like a really chilled water.
It's like crisp.
Straight up, it is refreshing as all get out, dude. It's like eating a thin mint out of the freezer.
So good.
It's like, I mean, you look forward to it every time, and it's out of all the flavors, right? Root beer float. There's all kinds of fun, random flavors, the magical charms, and all this crap. But the truth is like I could drink Thin Mint Girl Scout cookie protein powder 1,000 times in a row and not get tired of it, and that's very difficult to do.
I know. Even like the vanilla too is just so good.
Yeah, when they first came out with that vanilla milkshake, to be fair, I don't know if you know this, but like First Form's first flavors were all fruity, all of them. There was watermelon, tropical punch, citrus twist, pink lemonade. All of these were their first flavors. They didn't have a chocolate or vanilla for years.
Really?
And isolate protein typically means like isolated from lactose and fat.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very hard to make a dairy flavor when you've pulled out the things that make it taste like milk.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, it's all been these fruity flavors. And it's funny because it's like full circle, come back around. It's very popular right now out in the industry. It's like Seek protein is, clear, fruity flavors. You know what I mean? Like this has been very trendy, but it's like First Form's first flavors were all fruity. But when they came out with the vanilla, it was like how the hell? Because it was like soft serve. It was like it's like very sweet, but not overly sweet. It just feels like you're having something you shouldn't. It feels like a cheat.
I know. It's just.
They really kill it, man.
Yes.
They do.
Yes, they do.
Have you had the chocolate greens?
I haven't tried those yet.
I haven't tried them either. I was going to ask what you thought.
One of my clients just told me the other day, he said, these are actually really good. I said, you got the chocolate ones? And he was like, yeah, and I really like them. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I enjoy the regular greens. I haven't tried the chocolate ones, but like, man, if those taste really like chocolate, damn, they're doing something crazy with the flavors. This new Summerade, I can't believe you like the Grape Smash more. because this is the best tasting energy drink I've ever had. Truly,
I mean, they're both really good.
They really better not make this like a one-time deal. Like they better keep this in the rotation because this is the best.
Summer
tasting
it's
I've ever
good.
had.
But
Really,
there is bum root beer. I'm a big root beer guy.
I had a bum root beer yesterday.
It's crazy.
It's
How
great.
do they do it? I
It's
don't
also
know.
clear, which is fun.
Yeah.
A clear root beer.
Delicious.
Doesn't seem right.
It doesn't seem right.
Doesn't
but like
seem right.
root beer float protein didn't seem right either. I was at one of your stores.
Yeah.
And they're like, you should try this. I'm like, root beer float protein? Ew. Favorite thing. So.
Yeah, it's definitely like the unsung hero. When it sells out, like we're out of it, it's really depressing.
It's
People
it's
I
Sha-
couldn't
really
get it
upset.
for so long. I'm like, where is it?
It's like a quintessential sellout, you know, like they sell out of it pretty frequently.
It's like Chateau Milk. Have you had Chateau Milk's root beer?
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Dude, I didn't know you were getting into the doldrums like that, Kyle. I didn't know you were that deep in the root beer game.
I'm pretty deep.
Are you an A&W zero sugar guy?
Maybe.
Because I think that is one of the top 3
My
diet sodas out there. If you guys have not, if anybody here enjoys root beer and you haven't had an A&W zero sugar, it is one of the most impressive 0-calorie sodas out there. It's crazy.
Have you
It's
had
so
the
good?
cream soda Dr. Pepper Zero?
Totally.
That's good.
Very good. A&W zero sugar, shits on it.
Really?
Straight up shits on it. Yep.
Yeah, but it's got no caffeine in it. This is my problem with root beer.
But hear me out. You know, I'm a late night snacker typically. And so if I'm looking for something sweet late at night, I can drink one of those and it doesn't keep me up. It's a win-win. So, and not to mention, if you
could also go to Sonic and get a root beer float.
you could also make a Ninja Creamy and make your own root beer float
I was
at
going
home
to say I did that.
Could do that.
with the
First
Ninja
form
Creamy.
protein, and
Yeah.
then, but it was like a Zevia soda.
Yeah.
Not as good.
When you get into
But I
the
made that
natural
instead of creamy.
sweeteners like that, it's like
Oh my god! I tried one of those poppy
Ollipops.
Olipop root beer.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I threw it away.
It's just like
I
that's
was like,
cute. That was
man, that
good
was
try.
bad.
I choke it down.
You know, like when stuff's like just trendy and you're like, this is just purely being sold because it's on trend. That's how that feels. It's like, let's be like, if we're being brutally honest, like
It was trash.
put a paper sack on this can and take a sip. What do you think? Everybody's like, this is trash.
Exactly. But
This
the
is
marketing, the
trash.
can looks so good.
It looks great. It looks great. You know, I felt that way. I know that people are going to roast me for this, but like, man, when it comes to like the, you know, the waters, like the sparkling waters, you know, like a LaCroix, I'm like, dude, this is just terrible. What are we doing? Why are we all pretending like this tastes good? I'm like, this is just the worst, but people love them. I wanted to like them. Still can't like them.
Add a little bit of lemon in there. It's pretty good.
Do you like a LaCroix? Like which one? Single Skittle in a bottle of water, or like one squeeze of lemon in a glass of water? Like that's what they taste like. Just like, is that really that flavor, or is that, you know, is that just water?
You got to drink your sparkling water with no flavor like a man.
Why?
Not sponsored, but we're looking for a sponsorship.
Why do you want your water to
Liquid death.
sparkle, Kyle? Like a man.
I like it.
He likes
I
his
like
water
the
with
bubbly.
bubbles. Yeah.
I like the bubbly. Isn't LaCroix just sparkling water with flavor?
A little bit of flavoring, yeah.
Yeah, but the flavors are literally like single Skittle dropped in water, or you know, like
I'm just saying it's good to have sparkling
Strawberry,
water without any
kind of.
flavor.
Strawberry.
yeah, that's their favorite flavor,
I
strawberry
haven't had that,
kind
but I
of.
heard it's really good.
It's very good. It's very good. It's like
But how can it be very good? Like, hear me out. Like, it's like, okay, I do understand on the tap water, right?
Do you drink tap water?
I drink still. I drink tap.
Oh.
I'm not above it, but you know, I have a filter.
Chemicals in the water.
I got a filter.
Okay, that's good.
But the let's say we're
Putting
going through taps. It's like okay,
plastic in your
Aquafina clearly tastes
balls.
like shit. We can all agree, right? Aquafina still is just there's a weird taste to it. Amongst the bottled waters, there are ones that taste better than others, right?
Do you have a favorite?
You know what? I don't, honestly.
Okay.
I would say like I'm definitely like above a Dasani, and I'm above an Aquafina. But of course I'll still drink both if I'm thirsty and they're there. But I'm not gonna go out and buy one. But it's like also Smart Water or Fiji or, you know, what's another classic? What's the one that Mahomes is drinking? Essentia or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like what are we doing? How are they any different? So tell me this, Kyle.
Like liquid.
a
How is
liquid,
Liquid Death
like even if
so
you don't want the
different from a
sparkling
LaCroix?
one, just a canned water is delicious. I don't know why. It
Weird
hits the
drinking
spot.
Out of like a can though.
I love it.
Is there a still
It's so
can that
great.
you enjoy? Is there a still water can? They make one. Who does? Liquid Death makes a still? Respect.
Come
You know what
on.
we're gonna have to do is line up a whole bunch of different waters and have you try them and see if you can pick out, would you say Aquafina's trash?
I could absolutely pick out an
You could?
Aquafina, blindfold
Okay,
me, sure.
I made the box. So
Okay.
we're going to do a test. No.
Let's do that. Hey, that'll be a good segment. We'll do that.
When I was
Can
a
you
kid,
name
I
one?
always used to think Aquafina tasted like pool water.
Dude, right?
I was just like, this is kind of chemically in some weird way.
Yeah, this is trash.
Yeah.
No doubt. Dasani makes Coke. Pepsi makes Aquafina. We hate them both. So, nothing better than a nice Members Mark purified water. Cook me up right now, Luke. Let me get. This is what the doctor ordered right here. Reverse osmosis, probably keeping some little town in Pennsylvania from being able to use their showers. But I get to drink.
Plastic leaching into your balls.
That's what I'm saying.
You crank out 3 kids on that plastic.
I have very strong genes.
Yeah, that's what it is. Well, luckily, Sullivan will be there to carry on your legacy as you die from cancer at 48 from the microplastics.
Wow,
Oh
brother.
my gosh.
Wow.
That went dark quick.
What?
Did.
We're all gonna die. What happened?
I'm 37. That's
you a
only
li-
10 years.
I gave you. I mean, Claire's gonna graduate high school, and you're gonna get to see it. I gave you so much time.
Yeah, I wouldn't get to see her graduation. That's cool, man. That's real cool of you. I can't see my daughter's graduation because you just,
What?
Grim Reapered me right here on the podcast. It's kind of messed up.
Well, that's a perfect segue to our final question.
What's your favorite barbecue?
Before you kick the can, if you will, what barbecue would you eat if you could pick one last meal of barbecue in this town? Someone who loves eating cows. Tell us.
Yes, I do.
Someone who eats steak daily and is a huge fan of beef. Tell us about your favorite. Tell us your favorite barbecue in Kansas City. You've grown up in this area. Tell us, what is the spot?
It used to be Oklahoma Joe's in the gas station, but what is it? Joe's KC now?
Casey Joe's.
Casey Joe's, okay.
Casey Joe's. We can call it Oklahoma Joe's and everybody here knows.
Okay, cool.
You go.
Yeah, that's,
What are you ordering?
it depends what mood I'm in, if I'm going for the healthier side or not. But usually, I'll just do some sort of brisket.
You get 1 meat plate, 2 meat plate? You're a Z-Man sandwich gal?
Oh, I have had the Z-Man. That's good.
It is very good.
Oh, no, I'm always double meat
I'm with you.
too.
For
All the protein, please.
those that might be interested in the healthier side of what you do, is it pulled chicken? No sauce?
Smoked turkey?
Smoked turkey?
Oh, I'll do turkey, not chicken though. I do that enough at home. So, but I
I'm
also
with
don't
you.
go out to eat that much.
If we're spending money on barbecue, it's like, what are we doing buying the chicken?
Right.
It's
such a
I'm with you. But the turkey, there's
Turkey's
something to be
good.
said about a smoked turkey.
Oh yeah, turkey, brisket, burnt ends.
Love it. So, for our listeners that want to find you, how can they find you?
On Instagram at Shayna Lareina.
Can you spell that for us?
There it is.
The Lareina part.
Oh,
Is everything
SHAYNALAREINA.
An EI for those. Awesome. We love sitting down with you, Shay. Thanks so much for
thank
taking
you
the
for
time to come
coming.
hang out with
Yeah.
us.
Thanks for having me.
And we're looking forward to hearing how things go at the on Capitol Hill. I really
Yes.
hope this goes down. I'm excited to see you
Me
head
too.
out there and hopefully make some change and make some difference.
We're gonna try. We're not gonna try. We're gonna do it.
Keep fighting the
We're
good
gonna take
fight.
back this country.
We appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.